Hi, good evening. Elias Munshya here. And I would like to just have a very short chat with whoever is awake this time. So please spread the word around. Let everyone know that TV Bakwetu is here and Elias Munshya is live. And it's going to be a free-for-all kind of show now. General is not with me because he has other commitments, but it's going to be a free-for-all show. And so if you have any question or any concerns, I did ask a question to say, what is latest in Zambia? There is a lot that is new and going on. Which is pretty interesting. So if you have any questions, please let me know. And so I know in Chiwempala it's about 22 hours. So 22 hours, that is the time in Chiwempala, which makes it extremely late. But I know that most of you are not sleeping. And so that is quite interesting. So if you have any If you have any question, please, okay? Let me deal with that because you've been telling me that I don't respond to your questions. So today is your chance. I'm going to go through them and then I'll answer some of the questions. And then, of course, I have questions for our resident pharmacist, Mr. Jerome Kanika, who helps me explore some of the things to do with medication and things like that. Okay, so that is what is going on. Yeah, and then I just want you to know something about a new kind of segment that we are going to introduce. I'm calling it a conversation with my nephews. Now, the reason why I want to deal with this is because there is this idea that no one is talking to the young men, right? Like nobody. So there are so many people that talk to young women. So I want to talk to the young men because at 42, how old am I? 42 or 43? So now I want to chat with some young men, and we are going to look at different topics. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of that in the coming weeks. And of course, we are going to continue with our usual show of politics and discussing various things that are happening in Zambia. So we are going to combine the things. But I feel like we have been given the opportunity to speak particularly to the young men. So we are going to be dealing with career, what happens if I fail, love, relationships, for young men. Is there any problem with cleaning after yourselves as a young man, you know? Because in their own home. That's extremely serious. So if you are a young man, and by young man I mean anyone below 30, we need to have a conversation. So I just want to take some time to answer your questions and try to mentor through this platform that we have, right? So that we can build a new generation of young men. So that is one of the things that we are going to do. We are calling it Musha Mentors or TV Bagwetu Mentors or something like that, whatever it is. The name is not important. What is most important is the initiative. So that is what we are trying to do, okay? So if you know any young man out there, let them come and then we are going to have a conversation. I'm calling it a conversation with my nephews. A conversation with my nephews. So we're going to do that. It's going to be wonderful, all right? So I have seen several questions here, and I'll bring Mr. Kanika shortly, but I have seen several questions here. Somebody saying hi, thank you. Chibuye Machaliwa, thank you. Mutinta, good evening, Chiwempala. You know how that goes. Good evening, Chiwempala. When are you talking to us, your nephews? I will. So we're going to probably schedule a show very soon. And I want you to call several nephews to join, okay, so that we can do that. K for Life, Wamulume Mshala. Okay, I think she's trying to call someone. Okay. In Sekwesho, Chella Dakota, 2 years in prison. Of course, he's been in prison for 2 years. Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. I really feel for the gentleman, you know. Yeah, I really feel for him. I wouldn't recommend that we try to resolve these differences through using the criminal justice system. I think if people feel defamed, they can use their own resources to go to the local court and sue. But anyway, he's been jailed for 2 years. It's regrettable, right? It's regrettable. And the criminal offense for which he's been jailed is known as criminal libel. So criminal libel is when something reaches very, very high level where the state must intervene and protect the reputations of individuals. All right, so that's what he's gone in for, 2 years. Too bad. Tukuta wakamata kuno. Too bad. I hope he appeals maybe on sentencing or whatever it is. I don't know. It's a legal matter, so I have no opinion about that. Tujiburongo too. Amweba. Hello, Council. Let's talk about Chella Dakota photography and these 2 years jail. I think the magistrate went through the evidence and found that he had criminally defamed criminal libel, where you say or publish material that is extremely defamatory to another person, and so it rises to where the state must intervene. I think that is why he's been sentenced. I did have my own reservations over the gentleman. Those of you that have followed us over the past year know exactly where we stand as far as the gentleman is concerned, and you know where we stand as far as involving the criminal justice system in such matters, right? When we defended the gentleman, we never did it because we thought that what he was doing was right. All we were concerned about was the use of the criminal justice system to go after people that call others prostitutes. That was the only concern. So I don't call people prostitutes. I don't encourage anyone calling anyone a prostitute. I think women must be defended and respected. And so, particularly if you're with abantu at the is, you know, at the it's pretty tough, right? I think that is way too much. But I think the justice system should not be involved. People should sue each other in civil actions and then compensate each other for insulting each other. I think that's what it should be. 2 years is way too much. Mao Sampa is watching. Of course, he is. He's a good guy. Mao Sampa is a good guy. Mao Sampa saw some of the pictures of me cleaning up our offices. So we've moved from one wing to another for my offices. And so I was cleaning up and he made some comments about what I was doing. And what I see is that he himself also did a lot of DIY, do it yourself. He was putting pavements in Lusaka on his own. So that is quite interesting to see how the dynamics of work and stuff like that. So we took several pictures of ourselves, of myself sweeping my office and moving things, furniture. This blue you know. Yeah. Unemployment, of course. I think I'm very close to hiring someone a consultant from Zambia, and let's provide some employment to Zambians. What do you think? We can employ someone, to help us here work remotely. Those are some of the concepts that we can deal with. I'm ready to try and do that, and you get it cheaper because labor is definitely cheaper in a country that is still developing, right? That's one of the things that attract investment, foreign direct investment. It's the fact that you're going to get cheaper labor. That's why here in Kunogoba Sungu we get most of our things manufactured where? In China, in Vietnam, and all those places because of cheaper labor, something like that. Just wanting to know what really transpired. I think the gentleman was charged with a criminal offense of criminal libel, and then he was convicted. And now he's been sentenced to 2 years, something like that. Kindly greet Brett, the hitman hat for me. Yeah, I think he's an Albertan. In fact, he lives in Calgary, but I really have never met him. It's like saying that, please, do you know Kalusha Bwalia? Please say hello to Kalusha Bwalia on my behalf. Please say hello to Kalusha Bwalia on my behalf. Or Hari Kalaba. Shem UPND as campaigning manager in one prison for a few remaining weeks. All right. Okay. In Chuempala, exactly 22 hours. Is it a fair sentence? It sounds excessive. 2 years. 2 years for defamation, for criminal libel. Yeah. What I see is that our criminal justice system in Zambia is very harsh on sentencing. Very, very quite harsh. 2 years. Tough. How did your office swap go? Hope they will kelenka at play. How can office swap be a kelenka? How can an office swap, changing offices, be a kelenka? How do we kelenka that? Yeah, I can see that Chella Dakota keeps recurring over and over again. It's sad. Newly introduced debt stamp. I have no opinion about that. All I know is that we are asking everybody to comply with all the regulations that ECZ is going to come up with. If they say you need to stamp, please go ahead and have it done that. Yeah. Is capitalism, profits, religion good for Zambia? What are you talking about? Profits, capitalism is good everywhere. Profits are good everywhere, right? Because we still don't have a socialist model that has worked in the world, right? Or a communist model that has worked, pure communist model. Within a few years, every pure communist model collapses, isn't it? So in fact, the Chinese model could have long collapsed had they not introduced capitalism in their system, right? The Communist Party of China realized that they were headed for disaster. And what they did was they tried to introduce capitalism in their own system, attracted foreign direct investment from Westerners, because China understands that Abasungu, they like things. So because Abasungu, they like things, China opened up and said, come and make things from our country. And, you're going to do it cheaply. We are going to protect your investment. Come. And what China provided was labor, trades, big deal, trades. And they went in, and within a decade or so, Chinese economy changed. Now, it changed not because of communism, no. It changed because China somehow found a hybrid between communism politically and a capitalist model of an economy. That is what has happened in China. How long the communist political model will last, I think I don't foresee it lasting very long myself. Yeah. So what is Zambia's main issue? Zambia's main issue is not necessarily that capitalism has failed, I think Zambia's main issue is that there is basically a government that has no clue. We overborrowed. That is just the truth. We overborrowed money, and now we can't have enough cash flow to run an economy, to pay workers, to pay down the debt, or to make any common sense. That is our biggest crisis in Zambia. Because cash flow in the economy started making sense, particularly around 2009, 10, 11, and even 2012. Even small businesses, they were seeing money in circulation around 2012, right? We even got a very good standing with lending partners, 2011, 2012, 2010. That was a very good time for the Zambian economy. And then, of course, something changed because we had a new government, and including the Mao Sampa, to go and begin borrowing Eurobonds. Now, it did not end there. Even what you did with the Eurobonds, 750 million, it went to revitalizing that, Zambia Railways. What a disaster. And the borrowing continued from 750 million to 2 billion to 3 billion. And now between 2011 to the present, we've borrowed how much? No, the books are not open. So that's why issue. And what did the money, what did we do with the money? At built, built hospitals. Now, you build hospitals quite all right, and you have no cash to run anything. Because you have no cash to run anything, what will happen is that those things you claim you have built are going to become white elephants. First of all, just maintaining is expensive, right? Zambia has built, on borrowed money, borrowed kaloba, 3 state-of-the-art, international-grade airports. Now, let me just give you an idea. One is KK International Airport, Simon Mwansakapwepo International Airport, and Ari Mwangankumbula International Airport in Livingston. You borrow money from the Chinese, and you build these at $1.5 billion. How much are the 3 things worth? $1.5 billion. Okay. Now, just maintenance. Engineers, you tell me, and quantity surveyors, you professionals and accountants. So, to maintain infrastructure of worth $1.5 billion, how much do we need just to maintain every year, to maintain this infrastructure? How much do we need? So just on maintenance. So you borrow, you build, just on maintenance, you will require a lot of cash flow to maintain this infrastructure. So it is not an asset. It is a liability. And not only is it a liability on your books, but it continues to be a liability for several years to come. Because you are still going to be looking for money elsewhere in order to just maintain, just maintenance, just to maintain. And if you don't have money, it means then that within if the thing was supposed to stay for 50 years or 100 years, within 5 years, bohos boho. You can't mend the roof. And so what you think was an asset becomes a liability, and it becomes a liability. You do not have cash flow to fix it. You do not have cash flow to do anything. So nomba kukula fi airport pakweba tifo tule umfo wina in ba diaspora nga twatanda twafika tuwebere. This airport looks like like Heathrow. Nomba te kulinganye fintu iyo kuchita compare ma PULI kula ponwesha. So you don't do that. So what did we need? What we needed was common sense economic managers, common sense leadership. Abashpa. The people who know what they are doing. Not abantoba kwebati. Their plan is very simple. Kongo la kaloba, Kongo la tuibe. That is all that it was all about. Billions and billions and billions. Kongola tuive. That is the summary in grade 5. Equal summary. Kongola tuive. That is what this government has been all about. And now we are facing a huge, huge fiscal crisis. And this crisis is not going to be cured at one day. If you have 14 hours. This is going to take a lot of hard work and a lot of painful things that have got to be decided in the coming few months. Because the mess, it is a very big mess. It's a very big mess. What we are facing. The potential, economic potential has got nothing to do with resources. This is the thing that we need to learn as African countries. Resources. You know, at why is Zambia rich? We are rich because we have resources. We have gold. We have copper. No. It's also about how cash flow. How are we running our cash flow? Not about how much gold we have. It's about cash flow. How are we spending the money that we have? How are we planning and projecting the income that we are going to have as a country? Those are important things that we need to pay attention to. Now, how can we, when our economy is just centered on Congo la Tuive, and that's it? So because there is no cash flow number, what the government will be doing is borrow more. Secondly, put pressure on you as citizens with various taxes. It's not enough at you because there is pay exemption up to 2,000 kwacha. That pay as you earn is just one of the taxes, but everything else is taxation. Taxation on wemuntu waima. Kulusa atuyo tandareko kukabwe shishi befe mkonka kukabwe, but most of you atulea kukabwe, you meet how many targets you pay. That is tax. The National Health Insurance Scheme, that is tax. Okay, NAPSA, we are saying that NAPSA is an investment into social security or social whatever it is, but it's just one of the ways of tax because whatever. So you have so many taxes, and the reason why you will continue having so many taxes is because there is nowhere where the government is going to get the money from. All right? It's just like in a house. So government nayo ira bomba. So and at the month end nayo is station ira fola. So ifola kuma taxes. The problem is it will continue kulaya kuma taxes. Continue kulaya kuma taxes. Elo tashikuana tashakula kuana yo. Because there is pressure on small businesses. There is pressure on workers. There is pressure on anybody with an income in Zambia at the moment. This is a crisis. Gani state of emergency to FY, which declare there is a serious state of economic emergency in Zambia. So, tekukonkeresha tiyo pantu abasungu nabo bene bali Kongola, na ifuti Kongole, fyapsana. Because abasungu nangu ba Kongola, cash flow is there. And they will continue borrowing because as far as their books are concerned, there is still cash flow. It means then that abasungu economy ya America, ichirira fola every month. If economy in Zambia, taifola yo, because tamuli ulupia. So number te kulinganyati because American economy, their debt is 100% of GDP. Now, if we can push our debt to 100% of GDP, no. Because when at 100% of GDP, they will still have the cash flow that they need to finance the debt. Zambia will not. Because there is no cash flow. Very important. There is no impia tashire ingira, tashire chita circulate. Ama Americans vena, it will continue circulating. That is why what we need is a steady leadership. Not at Tivala kumbwaga ndolo pali neba. Nangwe ndeke. At yom gwaipa ndubaliavalenshi ndeke na ine ndefwa ndeke. That is what is going to lead to economic problems. Are we concerned here in the diaspora with what is going on in Zambia? Of course we are, because Babululu shares. They are telling us every day. Omwana wandali ku Zambia. So we know what is going on. if yakoba ati mpia 5 abale for 5,000 kwacha oko yingira 5,000 kwacha oko yingira within a day it's finished. Not only at Mwashite Findot Fiamtengo, but even taxation. Hospitals, church in Atukuri hospital, no medication. That is not, something must change. Something must change. Say something about, Mamona, sometimes ila shupo kuchita respond because kaingi na fula. Walanda if into fiapita. Let's see. PF about whatever it is. Hello, Bachuempala. If we Kumulunduni 2205. Okay, I see that. We talk to us, the nephews, Chella is tomorrow's story. I'll talk to you, nephews. Don't worry. Ninko atama topics for you. Mukomfona wino mwebere kwena. You'll be very happy. I'm also watching. The boy was too much insulting. Yeah. Did you realize that FB has now started? Yes. So we have monetized our page. So my page is now monetized. So when I'm talking to you, Facebook wants to make money. So just let me know of some of the adverts that they are putting in. They stopped it at one point because this page had admins from Zambia, and so Facebook thought that it's a Zambian page. So I had to ask my colleagues to say, let's take it back to Canada. So I'm the sole admin now, solely responsible for for everything that happens on this page. I'm going to go at the admin 2 or admin 3. So we did that, and I think it's back to running adverts. So why not? We are creating content. If you learn about how to sort out an economy, you've got, and you are watching. We need advertisers so that we monetize what we are talking about. Not Yonso and if you are free. How can the economy develop if you are free? If you are free? No. We need advertisers. Yeah. Zuma is 6 months. 2 years is too much. Uncle Munshya, where is General? General is not with me today. I think General, I think you see, that's the thing, because you think that General has no other things to attend to because he comes every day. No, he's traveling. Yeah. But why sweeping costs to work for you, even just $20 per day? Muila, here, if you came here and say that you be paid $20 a day, the government would be very unhappy. Takwa muntu for $20 a day, Muland. But imagine, so Zambia $20 a day, that would be a lot. So maybe we should find someone who we can employ in Zambia $20 a day. Hey, what do you think? Let's do that. Asia one. What is this about promises? I don't know what you're talking. 200 days promises. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Council, which is the most criminal offense here? Indecent exposure by a minister, Chella's offense of preaching of tribal gospel. Every prosecution is political, so it appears like, yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. I think he can appeal and get bond during appeal. It's very excessive. In the rest of the world, they would sue the other for thousands of dollars. Yeah, using the criminal justice system is way too much. And when we say this, it's not because that we are encouraging what Mr. Chella was saying. We are pretty concerned. I wouldn't tolerate what he says. And personally, in Palwanti, in Naudio Mulmendo, Tatumfuana, I Nadimuvula, Namubiga Munguru, Nakupika Napu. ero nombene ngungulu vaisasenda vari avatware ngungulu ero vasasenda vayaposa kuchishiyana nangu kumuganda. But so when we say what is needed is the civil system instead of criminal system, it's because the state should not be involved. Abantu bayika tobule and then the state gets involved in it. No. Uwaika tomnanko ubule kuya kuloko kot vaya ipingula vaya ilipira epera not to become a state. But anyway, he was prosecuted. So if you feel, yeah. Malawan voters. Now, Mumbi, are you there? Mumbi, this is extremely political. Now, Malawan voters have always voted in Zambian elections. Voters from Katanga have always voted in Zambian elections. And so Tanzanian voters have always voted. In fact, Zambians, we vote in Malawan elections. We vote in Zimbabwean elections. We vote in Namibia. We vote in Angola. We vote everywhere. Because kayaka border kaya, you know, chachine nika border, but also nika border kabufi. You know what I mean? So I just want to be realistic. There will always be a few thousands people that are going to overlap. And not only that, but when is down the line, some of my relatives settled at Mokambo. So you do have Zambians at the Mokambo town on the Congolese side. They're Zambian, they've got NRCs, and they're entitled to vote in this election. If anyone is campaigning, you don't just restrict your campaign to the geographical area of Zambia. Now, border towns, Pakasumbalesa, Chinsenda, Sakania, Mokambo, Pamwenda, Muchinji. Is it Muchinji or Muchini? Whatever it is, it's part of the campaign. Go there and campaign. So those people, leave them alone. You know, they're not going to sway any election. They were there during Sata's time in 2011. As a matter of fact, Sata was also complaining that we have Malawans voting. And of course, Zambians in the border areas like Paya, Pamalawi, Nangupa, Katanga, they usually favor the ruling incumbents, right? So that is a vote for the incumbent, usually. So what you do if you're opposition, you don't go to to fight them because it's extremely political. So what you do is you go and you tell them, Imwe, mwevena Malawi na vena Katanga, bakasai. Therefore, ngamwachita cross on the day of elections because they will cross. Nibabululu shandi, they will cross. No kuvota bakavote. So what you need to do is just have a message for them. No kubeba we will do very nice things for you as well. Okay. But if the Zambian state wants to investigate who these Malawans are, go ahead and investigate. Under the Chiwempala plan, there will be nothing like kufikosha sana over Malawans. They've been ruling. Abena Malawi have been ruling Zambia. No, they vote, but Zambia. It's very difficult to tell who is not a Zambian. It's very tough. You can't. How can you? Because Malawi, in fact, when it comes to Malawi has had no NRCs and Congo as well. Congo does not have NRCs, and neither does Malawi have. Malawi had NRCs during Mutarika's time, very, very recently. Tawakwetama NRCs ku Malawi. Nifwebo tu akwetama NRCs. I don't know, but if you actually to have that NRC, most Zambians, particularly the border Zambians, they lied a lot. You know? This is why in one of the critiques that I give over independent Zambian leaders was this lie that they created about the borders. And Kaunda himself, may his memory rest in peace, is one of those who perpetuated this lie. And so we need a rethinking. We need a rethinking of the border in Africa. A complete rethinking. This idea of thinking that there is somehow a pure line that separates a Malawian from a Zambian. No, it's not a very pure line. We shouldn't even take a very puritanical view, you know. Immigration. So what will happen? So what we needed was a more of a continuum, right? And let that settle. So those Malawans voting in Zambia, they don't threaten me at all. They don't threaten Zambia. They're not a problem. I think just go and campaign over them, and that's it. Can you stop them from crossing over? Never. Even if you deployed soldiers. Chief ni magoti. How are you going to prove? You're going to call Malawans to come and testify that this guy is actually a Malawan. Forget it. Mwewa Mukanga at Mrs. Pako is coming back. Were you in the drama group? I did drama for a term at Chingola. Wait for what? Abantu balefwa ngempemf. This selective application of the law, you could say that. His Excellency was here in Kopala. Yeah, he's spreading COVID. I think the thing, it's very sad. The president taking diseases everywhere. When I say this, it's not defamation of it's not defamation of character. Because ndapontera vakateka nangwati criminal libel. No, ndandafyati if you take avalungu fyama dongo. This is not criminal libel. Lelonga wabatuka valungu. You know, wasala ndefya parati wabatuka chatire chove. It's a criminal offense. Never ever tell head of state to go back to chatire chove. That's a criminal offense. Nombo kulanda tive wateka fyama dongo. No, that is not a criminal offense. Kaike fyama dongo. Tabare take a wino. Instead yaku take a wino. Where take if yaku buta like Congola twibe. Okay, is listed as an asset of course it's an asset to China. It's not an asset to Zambia. Yes, he can if he applied for an appeal. Yes, he can appeal, I think. I don't know what is more funny, Elias laugh for the economy. Yeah. By laugh, I think we are in a very big economic mess. Number to chitafie imitate at mulando abasungu bara kongola na ifwe tuye tukongole. Tureringa nyama PULI. Yeah. You ask General, watching from Chirirabombwe, he will come. I didn't know that you were my brother from the Aushi tribe. I'm very happy, sir. Muleke. Yeah. Anyway. Our resident pharmacist.
Yes, Council Munshya.
Na tumfuati Atishan. First, anyway, you give us an update of everything going on.
I don't know which update, but I can just say there is a sad story of Chella for being in prison for 2 years.
Yeah.
I feel for him, and it's very sad. Yeah, though. Yeah, what he did again was not very much okay. Anyway, we need to know how best we need to bring out some of these matters or issues, even if we want to bring out a point. So anyway, 2 years is too harsh. I think he need to do something over that. It's too much for him. He's a young man. Just need to counsel him and guide him what he's supposed to do. Yeah.
No, I agree. But we need we need to make sure that we are not giving ourselves to allegations. You know, is very bad. Kanonganiwe. You can't catch umuntu ati if you've never.
Yeah.
So if you've never, because abantu babufi bamulomo abantu kuti bamona fyo muntu alenda fyo no muntu ati balya maude. No. That's not the way to deal with this thing. Mind your business. Do something that is more more productive with life. What do you think?
Yeah, I think yes, that's very true. We need also yes to learn to mind our own business and not and to avoid entering in private lives of the people. You see, these issues of catching someone close to what are very difficult to defend yourselves. Just like the way I'm laughing and what is happening here in Ndola, where the independent MP sued a young lady to say no, she has stolen the money, and the phone, yeah, where the young lady claimed to say no, he requested the oral sex. How can you now prove those kind of things to say I didn't request for that?
So is it a police matter or is it in the local court?
It is in the local court. Actually, I saw that in the Daily Mail today. Yeah,
I think that's a better way to handle these disputes. Kuitwala kuliwa court. Ero nombaba shamfo basa epsheta le nombalo ndolole. Ero nombaba independent MP bakubwana mkubwa. Batampo kulondolole efyo chali. Ero nombalo kashana bankwe aya imini na mumbokosha ati londolola na owatampo kulondolola. Dio kwa efyo chali ababa independent MP bali zansenga.
Yeah, it is something I wish the independent MP would have just let go of that, because for them for I'm saying I don't need refonko baba shamita ku parliament ngabakuli ati bakula panga mafunde.
Yeah, why didn't he just lose? How much did he lose? 5,000? What is 5,000? Or for reputation?
Yes, the phone is
that's it. You move on. Someone is asking whether General Chipakupaku is a true soldier. Yeah, he's a true soldier. General is a nickname, for goodness sake, people. We've nicknamed him General, but he's a soldier who worked as a soldier and retired, I think, on, is it staff sergeant or something like that? The highest non-commissioned rank. What do you call it? Staff sergeant?
Yes, staff sergeant.
Yeah, so we give him a title, General, because some people are asking what did he do? Yeah. 500, I don't know what that is all about. I do understand some people are talking of the 200. What is the 200 about, the 200 article? Do you know anything about it? Or you'd rather not comment on it? I don't want, if it's too close to you, I don't want you talking about it.
Yeah, I think I've seen the article, but it was the article attributed to Mubitanawa, who later apologized for one or two things which is there. So he said everyone who thought about that, he should just brush that off. So I don't know why people are still commenting on something someone was withdrawn and said no, there's no need of commenting on this right. matter. So even me, I can't comment on that because the owner has refused people to comment on that.
Right. Okay. That's okay. All right. Thank you so much. So we are going to come back and like I said, Jerome, is we want to have some mentoring sessions with the young men and talk about some things about life. You know, I'm really quite passionate about it, and so we are going to be doing that in addition to the political things that we do. Are you in your 30s? Are you under 30? How old are you? It's difficult to tell because you look quite young. If you don't want everybody to know, it's okay. So
I think let it be like that, but I think I'm old enough actually with two kids, Bamusha. So
you have
so
two
I'm
kids.
old, but yeah, but it's something that we need just to look into, because if we don't take care of the young population, or of the young boys we have, it will be very difficult actually in the near future to control them. So better we control them
Right.
where they are still young, and
Yeah.
give them the proper morals, because what I've seen definitely is the deterioration in terms of the morals with the young people. So if we can have a chat with them on how best they can handle on a day-to-day challenges that are coming through, I think that will be help. But you know very well, the economy issues here in Zambia are very tough. So every parent is running up and down to look for food and money to keep these boys. So they are forgetting on how to teach or educate their children. So if you do that, I think that will be very much commendable.
That would be good. So it's for the young men. We're going to deal with all the topics: career, relationships, education. You know, what do you do? You know, the encouragement. What
Mhm.
should I drink or anything like that? So we'll be talking about that. Fred Moposh is saying very much true. It's a civil lawsuit that received a criminal judgment. No, it's a criminal case. Criminal libel is a criminal case, so it's not necessarily. So it can be both, and the state can decide whether they are going to treat it as criminal or not. Anyway, yeah. Um, Not just the young, even us youth at 42 need man-to-man talk. Oh, okay. Ganshi. Okay, Ganshi, let's have that talk. You know, let's have that talk, and we are going to come. This will be your channel because you know women they've got a way that they deal with issues. No mwe lume wavya sana abaume batuleterera. So I want to come and have a chat. You know, in addition to everything we do politically, legally, or anything like that, this is just conversations with men. I'm calling it conversations with my nephews, but it can be Naomi in at 42. You can be my nephew. Yeah. John Lengo is asking how you send stars. Yeah. I think you go to as this thing is rolling down. There is where you can like it, and then there is somewhere where it says send stars. You click there, I think then it tells you, it leads you across. I think that's what it does. And so what is the issue with stars? The issue is that we just want to monetize this Facebook. Therefore, Kwesha, just monetize. But when I come live, we add money to it because people do not take anything serious unless they are paying for it. Nenimbo, have you seen, Jerome? Even songs.
Yeah,
Free
that's
songs.
very
People don't like free songs. They want to pay something for it.
yeah, and well, yeah, you do give a lot of data and a lot of knowledge, and most people they do learn a lot of things from here. So it's high time, yes, people had to do one or two things in terms of supporting the good works. Moreover, the last month's stars you gave to Zambia again to in the fight against the pandemic. So
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
we are also giving back.
yeah, because the pandemic is pretty serious. Actually, Pasan. Anyway, we've got to end here. Thank you very much for joining me today, our resident pharmacist. Did you have any last words you wanted to say to our people?
Yeah, I think we are all now in the copper belt, including the president is on the copper belt, and we should know very well that the copper belt is receiving actually, or we're having a lot of number of cases that are positive for corona, and as of today, as of yesterday, we lost about 10 people due to COVID-19 as these things were announced by Ministry of Health. So when you are going to, when you hear that the president decide, the best thing you need to do is stay by your place. Don't just go Nkutwale Chimpwena and say, oh, let me go see. It will not help. It will not give you money or do anything. But the best thing you can do is keep yourself safe, stay away from unnecessary crowding. You may never know. You find yourself in an awkward situation where you contract COVID because you just went in a chimpwena nokuyokulengera where the president is. And
Did you say ukulengera? Mukulengera po?
no, yeah, Nkulengera, where you see here that the president is this side, you go, you see, instead of that. And
Eh,
you need to, so those again, MPs, especially on the copper belt, who are campaigning, they should make sure that they avoid mixing themselves with these crowds that are moving with the edge of state, because they'll get
right.
the coronavirus from other people and go share it to their electorates, which will
Yeah.
be too bad. So we don't want that. If you have nothing to do with the president, if you have nothing to offer to the president, please don't go there. Stay home. Maintain your physical distance and the other guideline that we are talking about, preventing yourself from contracting this deadly virus. As you know very well, most people are dying, and we have seen more number of people dying as never before. So
Yeah.
my advice is to people is, the president is on the copper belt. If you have nothing with the president, please don't Ntwale Chimpwena. Stay away and stay at home.
No chimpwena. Kuya kuchimpwena. And it's because there is a serious thing. And when we say this, it's not because we are thinking that President Lungu has the disease. No, what we are saying is that everywhere where there are more people, the greater the chance of spreading. And this is a very, very dangerous variant, Delta. Yeah,
Yes,
but one
actually,
person can infect 100 people.
yeah, actually, like today and like today, the weather on the copper belt, especially where I am here in Rwanda, it's cold. So, and you know very well that this virus, it's spread more in the cold season or cold weather.
Yeah,
So so I'm asking the people, please, especially on the copper belt, keep yourself safe, as you
yeah,
know very well that the copper belt is now very cold.
right,
Unlike the other days that where we have been seeing having the sun and all that, but this time, as it reaches 18 hours, it gets very, very cold. So let's
right.
protect ourselves and make sure that we don't get the virus to give to our family members. I think that's yeah, that's what I can say.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for having joined us. We'll see you sometime with very exciting programming on TV Bakwetu. Thank you, Mr. Kanika, for joining us here today and for presenting the data that you always present to us. Because without you, we wouldn't have known a lot about vaccines, about corruption at the Ministry of Health, about Ifikwakwa. You see.
Actually,
All right.
the other day when you were getting the calculator with General failing to calculate, I was saying, have you seen these people from Ifikwakwa? They are failing
And I did it. I made the calculation because every law firm must have a calculator to, to Rapenda. Here it is. And I did correctly that 400 million divided by 18 million is 22 kwacha. Not much.
Yeah, I heard people
I was
talking
so
of 22 million. So I said, my goodness, anyway, I forgive them back of Kwakwa.
one Zambia, one Ifikwakwa.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you.
Yeah.
God bless you and God bless our country. We'll see you sometime again tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.